Oh, boy. Well, let's get into this one. This is the most wonderful time of the year.
Number 2 on the all-time list, voted on by the fans.
And it's interesting that the top 2, this one and the Christmas card, are all pre-2009, which is interesting.
That is
Maybe
interesting.
we'll talk about
For
why
sure.
that might be.
How about give us a synopsis and we'll go
I will
from
give
there.
you a synopsis, and then we'll dive on into this. Most Wonderful Time of the Year originally aired on December 13th, 2008. And I put 2018, which is way wrong. 2008, and it went a little something like this. The movie starts with an overhead view of the Cullen house, which is the only house in the cul-de-sac not decorated for Christmas. And you don't want to be the only house without lights on Christmas Eve. Jennifer is our leading gal, and she's got a lot going on in her life right now. And she's just going to be happy when Christmas is over. We meet Uncle Ralph. He's a retired cop and is going to visit Jennifer and her son Brian for Christmas. Jennifer's on the lookout for the gift that Brian wants more than anything in the world. It's the rocket wheel. The only problem is it's this year's Turbo Man doll. You can't find it. You can't find it anywhere. And so she's trying to find it. And she sees it in a window, and she walks in. She says, "Hey, I'll come back Christmas Eve at closing. Pick this up. Do we got a deal?" He's like, "Sure, we got a deal." We then meet Jennifer's boyfriend. His name is Richard. He's the most boring human in the entire world. He's got nice shoes. In the airport, Uncle Ralph meets Morgan. He's a guy who's trying to get to Denver, going through Chicago to get there. They become fast friends after Morgan gets them both into first class by getting to the front of what they say is a long line, but I wasn't impressed. They land in Chicago, and they find the connecting flight to Denver has been canceled, so Ralph convinces Jennifer to let him stay at her house, which is good news because they're both good looking. As Morgan is putting Christmas lights up on Jennifer's house, we accidentally see her in a towel after the shower. And this really shows that it's 2008 Hallmark and not 2018 Hallmark. And while Jennifer is gone with boring Richard, they go out for a little while. Morgan, Ralph, and Brian decide to go get a real Christmas tree. Because that's what really is going to put Jennifer over the edge, because it's not her really gross-looking artificial tree. She's not a big fan of it, but she lets it pass. Jennifer and Morgan begin to get to know each other while they go shopping for a turkey, and it's adorable. Morgan meets her neighbor and makes the neighbor very angry, and so that immediately attracts Jennifer to him because she despises her neighbor. The airport opens back up, and she brings him back to the airport, but he doesn't have his passport. He doesn't have an ID for reasons that I don't really know, and so they end up going back home. But that's when she remembers, oh no, it's Christmas Eve. I gotta go pick up the bike. They get to the bike shop. The store is closed, and so what he does is he does something that you would never do in a real life situation. He makes the alarm go off. The owner shows up, he brings them into the alley, hits them with a trash can, knocks them out, they steal the bike. Another way that you notice a 2008 Hallmark Christmas movie.
Thumbs up.
They come back home, and it's Christmas Eve, and so she's going to go to a dinner party with Richard. Richard proposes to her, she chokes on her drink, and everyone takes that as a yep. So they go home, and Richard's like, "Hey Morgan, you got to get out of here." And so he's like, okay. He leaves a note on the counter for her to see the next morning, but Richard takes the note on the way out, puts it in his coat pocket. The next morning he comes in, he says, "Hey Brian, there's a present in my coat pocket." Guess what? He pulls out of the coat pocket the letter, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, he took Morgan's letter." And so she breaks up with him, runs to the airport, accidentally professes her love over the intercom of the airport while she's trying to convince the airport person to let her go through. He hears it, he runs out, they go home. You think, oh, are they not going to kiss? They kiss, and that, my friends, was the most wonderful time
of the year. Wow,
what a gem!
Boy.
There was a lot in that one.
There really was.
I like 2018. It's simpler. It's just like 2 or 3
that was like an
plot
onion
points,
just layers.